No. Awesome. So what I want to talk about now is how do we utilize a pre-approval to make us or our clients or you, the buyers, how do you stand out? So the first thing is my suggestion is going to be creating a max pre-approval. What is a max pre-approval? A max pre-approval says this is the very tippy top of what that client is comfortable paying per month. Sean, I'm not going to pay more than $29.50 per month. Okay, then I know $515 is going to be your max. This is your max pre-approval. So I'm going to submit a max pre-approval. Now, what if they're putting an offer in for a home that's $425,000, and I submit a max pre-approval of 500 plus? What do you think that seller is going to look at when they look at that max pre-approval?
500,
What's that?
500 plus.
They're going to see that this client is more qualified, much more qualified to buy my home. So do you think maybe that pre-approval might stand out a little bit more?
Yes.
Yes, because I'm showing that client is more pre-approved for this purchase. So that's the very first thing that I'm going to suggest we start doing moving forward. Not just getting a pre-approval based on the purchase price, but giving them a max pre-approval. Right? The next thing I'm going to suggest that we start doing, and this is something that I do for my agents and for you buyers, it is important that this is included in your offer that a lot of people don't do, and that is have the mortgage individual, mortgage advisor, banks won't do it, credit unions won't do it, is write a personal letter about the client. So if you're my client and I'm writing a letter on your behalf, the letter says, my name is Sean Collins. I've been in this business for 21 years. I own my own mortgage company for 8 years. I sold it. I've been a consultant for the business. I have lost 0 loans once I pre-approve you because I do my due diligence. And I've been working with this client for X amount of time. And I can tell you unequivocally that I've reviewed their income, their assets. I run them through a program called DULP. And I can tell you without a doubt that they are more than qualified to buy your home. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Do you think that letter attached to their pre-approval, attached to their offer, might have a little bit more weight than someone who's just offering a pre-approval? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. I fully agree. Has anyone ever used one of my letters? I know Jason has.
Yep. Absolutely.
Awesome. Do you feel that it has some weight when you're putting an offer in?
It certainly does. Yeah. It's a call out I put in the email directly to the agent receiving the offer to make sure they're aware of it.
Awesome. Another thing that we can start doing is offering more than one pre-approval. So when you're putting an offer in and you offer a pre-approval, imagine if you had a second pre-approval and you attach that. So now not only are you offering the sales contract, you're offering a pre-approval, you're offering a second pre-approval, and now you're offering a mortgage letter. Do you think that might stand out more than most of the offers? 1,000%. 1,000%. What I can do, split between 2 different companies, which is Mortgage Access and Weicker Financial, I can actually create 2 different pre-approvals. If the client has a pre-approval already, we can create another pre-approval. So buyers, don't be afraid to get a second pre-approval because it's only going to help you. Make sense? So the next thing is there's a program called DULP, Desktop Underwriting and Loan Processor. This is something that most underwriters run when the loan gets through processing and gets midway through. They run this program to see how financially viable the client is. Banks all subscribe to this program, right? So when an underwriter runs this process, they get an approval. When they get an approval, all they do is they do the checks and balances. They're just validating everything. That is their mortgage commitment. They just follow this process, right? The problem with that is it's done in the middle of the process. So you already got your appraisal, title's already ordered, you're already mid-stride. So if there's a problem there, now you have to backpedal. So what I do from the very beginning is I run this program right up front. This DULP program, which most people don't run, I run it up front to make sure we already know what obstacles we're going to come across from the very beginning. So I can tell the seller, hey, look, I have a 36-page desktop underwriting approved eligible that tells the secondary market, a bank, that they're going to buy this loan as long as we meet these criteria. Nobody else does that. So as a client, as a buyer, this is something you definitely want because nobody else is doing it, and it assures you, you know you're going to get the loan. And this is something we already do, which is why we lose 0 loans. And if a seller wants to see it, we can happily show them that. That's huge because I guarantee you've never seen it before. Nobody submits that. And last but not least, something that is, something that I enjoy doing. I've never seen a mortgage advisor do it yet, but I enjoy doing it. I will send the seller a short 30-second or 1-minute video of me validating our client. By sending them a video, it humanizes the process. It lets them see me, lets them hear what I have to say, and I invite them to call me if they have any questions about our client. Do you think that has value as an agent?
Absolutely.
Yes. Why? Why do you think that has value?
It stands out. It makes your clients stand out from the pack. And like you said, a human interaction over just a piece of paper or an email is so much more engaging and carries so much more weight.
100%. We are in a market where we're going to see multiple offers 100%. How do we make ourselves and our clients shinier? How do we make them the next shiny object? If they're not paying cash, if they're not putting 50% down, how do we make them shinier? And these are some of the ways that we're going to make them shinier. Buyers, if you're not working with an agent who is embodying all of these different ideas, then you're working with the wrong agent. Okay? So the elephant in the room is, what if they try to get pre-qualified or pre-approved and they don't? They don't qualify or they don't get pre-approved. What happens then?
Depends on who they're working with.
Jason, tell you, he gets a smiley face and a gold star. Absolutely. If you go to a bank and you've got a credit score that is less than good, or you don't have enough assets, guess what? Hey, thank you for coming. Have a nice day. A credit union, they're being more stringent. Thank you for coming. Have a nice day. Right? So one thing that you're going to find from a mortgage lender, at least I know through us, is that when we have credit blemishes or challenges or issues, we have the ability to go in, dig a little deeper, and give you an idea of how to fix or correct some of those blemishes. And usually, it takes very little effort to correct it in a very short period of time. If someone has, let's say, a 620 credit score, and if we get them to a 630, they're going to get better options. We'll send them a couple different things that they can do immediately to increase their credit score within a week or two. That's tremendous. What about a client who has a 580 credit score? They can't get approved. Guess what happens? We're going to help them, give them some direction, and then 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it takes, get you prepared so you can buy a home. So buyers, the one biggest thing people that fear that keeps them away from trying to get pre-approved is I'm gonna fall short. I'm not gonna get pre-approved because my credit isn't good enough. Well, guess what? Even if it's good enough, we're gonna give you some direction of what to do and how to do it so we can get you prepared so you're ready to buy. Does that make sense? So there is no fail here. It's just a matter of putting you in the right place, right position. Okay. Now, a pre-approval for us, again, you can go online, you can go to a bank, right? You can go talk to a mortgage company, or sit down with somebody. For Weichert, for our agents, and for myself, there's too many ways to get pre-approved, right? Number one, all of our agents have a Weichert mobile app. Usually the mobile app is on your phone. If you go on your phone, you're going to see apply now. You can send that link to a client and they can apply right there. Takes them 5 minutes. I get an alert that they applied and I can go ahead and call that client directly and walk them through the process. That is the first one. The second one is, if you ever received an email from me, the link is in my email. You can click on the link and apply. You can go ahead and plug the information in yourself. I'd love to have the conversation with you directly because I can answer a lot of those questions that never get answered by most loan officers. The The third thing is, as an agent, you can attach that link into your signature. So now you are a full service agent. So when you're talking to a client, they're like, you know what, I'm not pre-approved, or I haven't been pre-approved yet. Well, I just sent you an email. It's in the body of my link. Go ahead and click on it. Let's get that ball rolling. Let's get it started. That's the very first thing we need to do. Buyers, that's the very first thing you need to do. Agents, you need to own that process, right? And then the blend link, which I'll send a copy to everybody. I've sent it to you before. The blend link is a very simple A to Z how to do it, how to apply. Now, Jay, have you used Blend before? Have you had your client use Blend before? I know, Julie, you have. What's that?
I've not used that one, no.
Julie, you had a client use Blend, correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, your client. So the cool thing about Blend is when you apply, when your client applies for it, because I sent them the link, when they plug in their information, within an instance, it will immediately tell me, it will verify their income and verify their assets. So within 3 or 4 minutes, I've already qualified them. I don't need an underwriter to qualify their income or assets. So from a buyer's perspective, that's as good as gold, right? From an agent's perspective, that's securing your commission. So you definitely want to become readily available and use that process because it's very user-friendly. So I want to talk a little bit really quick about how does this pre-approval conversation help you agents that represent listing on the listing side when you're representing a client who is just selling properties, right? So for some of you buyers who maybe own a home, here's one way that this conversation helps you. If you are listing your home and you're working with one of our agents, all of this still applies. So now you have someone who is trying to buy your home, that agent is going to have them meet with us to make sure that the client who's trying to buy your home is properly pre-approved, properly vetted. So you know emphatically that they didn't just go online and get some type of a pre-approval. You know that we have vetted them so that the agent who's accepting that offer has done their due diligence to make sure that client is definitely able to buy the home. That's a huge value proposition for you as an agent. Would you agree? I see you guys. Thank you for nodding. I appreciate that. So this is important. This is important because this is going to, again, help both the buyer and the seller side. Now, what if the seller is selling their home but also wants to buy a home? Does the value stop there? No, we're continuing to offer that to the client who's selling their home. We can still pre-approve them to make sure the house they're going to buy, they're pre-approved, they understand their buying power even when they sell their home. So the value of your services doesn't just stop. You have to embrace it, right? Embrace both sides of it. Does that make sense? I'm going to say yes to that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the 1 or 2 people who say yes. I really do. So the one biggest obstacle I find, whether you're a buyer or you're an agent, is what if someone says, I'm already pre-approved? You know what, I'm already talked to somebody, I'm already pre-approved. That's great. So buyers, I'm talking to you. Agents, I'm talking to you. If you owned a restaurant and someone walks into your restaurant with somebody next to them and you introduce yourself as the owner, you sit them down, you get them some water, and then you bring them a menu. And then the person says to you, I'm good, I don't need a menu. I brought my own chef with me. He or she is going to go in the back of your kitchen and they're going to cook for me. So it's okay, don't worry about it. Now, they're in your restaurant.